Hey guys, thanks for checking out the channel and welcome to my 2019 Worship Rig run through. I'm going to go through all of the guitars and pedals and the amp that I'm playing these days. It was about a year ago that I did my worship pedal board build from start to finish, and some things have changed on the board since then, so I thought I'd do a run through of what I'm using right now. So first of all, the guitars I'm using, I've got this Veritas Portlander with Bearcat pickups. This is a guitar that I had custom made, saved up all my pennies so that I could buy it, and really love the tone that I'm getting out of it. So that's my number one guitar I play the most. I also have a Taylor McGrath Nigel Hendroff Signature Edition Scarlet, which somebody else had custom made and I bought it from them. Since I got the Veritas, I don't play it near as much. It's an amazing guitar, and it is for sale. So if someone's interested in buying a really, really awesome custom guitar for less than what you would pay to have it new, hey, check it out on Reverb. I also have a American Stratocaster, which sounds really awesome, but it's super stratty. So if you don't like that strat sound, you won't like that guitar. And then the next one that I really, really love is my American Telecaster. Obviously, I love the Telecaster style since I've got 3 of them in my main guitars. But this is the one that I will play the most. So going from this, I have my Polytune tuner by TC Electronic. And it really doesn't matter what tuner you use. You can use a headstock tuner, you can use a pedal tuner, but you need a tuner. If you're going to be playing guitar, you should really have a tuner. Boss TU2, Boss TU3, Korg Pitch Black, Snark. There's all pedals that do the same thing, or a headstock tuner. So whatever you find that's a good price, get it, use it. It's going to be good. I go from that to my Bondi 2026 compressor, which you don't really need a compressor. I love to have it. The purpose of a compressor is partly to even out your tone so that you can, when you're playing really, really hard, it kind of backs off the harshness of it, and when you're playing really quiet, it kind of beefs that up a little bit so that your tone, your sound should be pretty consistent throughout your playing, and then it also boosts your signal throughout your chain. So if you have pedals that don't have a buffer built in, then it kind of beefs up that throughout. And then I also use it to add a little bit of color. You can get just more of a cleaner compressor, but I add a little bit of just a little bit of tone through that. I go from that to this gig rig, this monster MIDI pedal that I have, which I think they go for like $400 or $500 on Reverb, but I actually got this one for free. I bought a bunch of gear off of a guy and he threw this pedal in for free, which is awesome because it is a MIDI controller. It controls my Strymon pedals. So with the click of a button, I can switch all of my settings on my Big Sky, on my timeline, and my drives and all that stuff. So it's really handy to have, and in just a moment I'm going to go through the different channels that I have on my Gig Rig MIDI 8. So my first drive that I have going through there is the JHS Morning Glory. Super clean overdrive. I have it on here mostly as a clean boost. If you want to get it dirtier, you can get it dirtier. The next one I have is the Centura by Sierratone, and I've had a lot of different clones. I've had an actual Klon Centaur, and by far the best bang for your buck is this Sierratone. I think it's about 350 Canadian, and so worth it. It looks and sounds exactly like the Klon, which costs about 2,000 and more Canadian. So if you love that Klon sound, but not that Klon price, I would highly suggest this Centura by Sierratone. Next I have my Mulholland Drive. It's that old, early 2000s, late 90s Hillsong United tone. That's what a lot of those guys were using. I still love it. I've been using it for a lot of years. Love it. By Teletronics. The next one I have is the Prism by Jackson Audio. I saw that Nigel Hendroff had 2 on his board, so I thought I should get one. So I got one, and it actually turns out Nigel knows what he's doing. So I really like that pedal. Right now I'm using it just to add some body to my tone. If I had fewer overdrives, I'd probably use it more as a second stage drive, but since I have way too many overdrives on my board, right now I'm using it more for some body to my tone. My channel 5 in my gig rig is my timeline. You can use any delay. You don't have to have this really expensive Strymon pedal. You can have a Boss, DD7, DD5, DD2, any DD really. You really want to have in a delay a dotted eighth if you're doing worship, and a tap tempo. You don't need those, but those are great to have. And then I've got my Big Sky by Strymon for my reverb, and I've had a whole bunch of different reverbs. Yes, it's super expensive, but it is by far, in my opinion, the best one out there. So if you can grab one for a decent deal, you should get it. But there are a lot of other great ones out there. Anything that'll add reverb is going to be better than no reverb. Outside of my gig rig, I have my JHS Panther version 1.5, which you really don't need to have a timeline and another delay, but I love the analog tone, so I have it on there. I don't know how long it'll stay on there, but for now it's there. I have the space on the board to do it. And then I've got my JHS Kilt, which I'm really underutilizing. It's a super, super great pedal, and I just have it as a clean boost at the end of my chain right now, so underutilizing that. Once again, I have the space on my board, I have the pedal, so they work together. And then I have the Ditto, which I use for loops, especially when I'm practicing lead lines and things like that. So let's check out, last in line, of course, is the Fender Twin amp, which nothing fancy about it. It is a tube amp, which I highly suggest. If you're playing really live anywhere, that you get a tube amp. It's going to sound so great. Alright, so going through, this is just bypassing my gig rig. So this is... So that is just the compressor. My first channel I've got is a clean channel. So this is just the Centura. It's the only thing I've got between here and my amp right now, and the compressor. I don't use that a lot, but I would use that especially if I want to use my Panther delay. My next one is my delay channel, which is I've got my Centura and my timeline, and then a little bit of reverb with the Big Sky. My next channel is my swell. So I've got my Centura, the Morning Glory, and then Big Tails on my timeline and my Big Sky. Alright, the next channel I've got is my lead. That's my Prism, my Centura, my Morning Glory, Big Sky, and timeline, and it's basically my delay channel with a little bit more reverb, and then adding the Prism and the Morning Glory. So this is just the delay. And then here is that lead. Next up, I've got my rhythm channel, which is my Prism, and then a little bit of reverb with the Big Sky. Really love the tone I'm getting out of that Prism. The next one I have is this dirty channel, which I don't use a whole lot, but when I need something gritty, that's what I've got here, is my Mulholland Centura Morning Glory Timeline Big Sky, all in together. Alright, my second last channel that I've got is an ambient channel. I really don't like what I've got right now, and I don't use it very often, so I haven't tweaked it and tried to find something that I really like. But this is what it sounds like right now with the Mulholland Timeline and Big Sky. So yeah, I never use it, and I should tweak it, but I haven't. And then my last channel, I had an 8th channel, and I don't really have a need for an 8th channel, so it is called Just Say No. And I tried to find something really gross that no one would ever use. Why? Just because I had an extra channel. This is this. Never use the channel. Stay away from it. In between, I've got Boss cables. They're on the cheaper end, and I'm not really stoked on them. So I did save some money, but there was like probably half of them that I made the length that I wanted, plugged it in, and then I had to unscrew it and kind of tweak a little bit to get it to work. I've never used George L's. They're a lot more expensive, but maybe it's worth the money. So the Boss ones are okay, you'll save some bucks, but you might have to fiddle around with them to get them to work. I use Jim Dunlop 1mm thick picks. I like a thicker pick, so that's what I use. And I also use G7 capos. G7, I like the locking and unlocking mechanism. I like how they clamp. Always nice and clean. And I also love that the company with the conscious, they support Hope for Justice, which you can go to hopeforjustice.org, that works towards ending human trafficking and slavery. Amazing cause. So buy yourself a great capo and support a great cause. Plus it matches my gold hardware, which is super cool. So yeah, that's the rig that I'm using currently. Thanks for checking out my channel. If there's a tutorial that you would like to see that you can't find somewhere else on the internet, put it in the comments below and I'll do my best to help you out. I want to help worship leaders lead well, and always appreciate it if you'd like, share, and subscribe to videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.